So Betaflight 4 has been out now for 5 to 6 weeks. A lot of people have been enjoying it, and a lot of people have had issues. Luckily, I was in that earlier part. But then I decided to try this Falco X on my quads, and things have never been better. And even in my small channel here, I see comment after comment of people that are switching to Flight 1 because they're seeing the proof is actually in the pudding this time. So I guess my question is, what is the future actually of Betaflight? Like, what will Betaflight 5 look like? We already saw that with the release of 4 that the amount of people in the community just were not ready for such a advanced, highly tuned, highly pitted default setup. You know, the Betaflight devs have to make setups that will work with thousands and thousands of quads, since it's probably 90% of the market share, if not more. And this is an open source program that none of these guys get paid for. They all like to do little things. They add this feature, they add that feature. You know, it's great. Flight 1 with Falco X, they have their board. You hook up any receiver one way. You hook up any VTX one way. They only have to worry about this, so they can focus on providing superior hardware and an ultimate flight experience for people like myself who have been around for a while, years now, since the beginning of this FPV stuff, basically. And, you know, I know what my ships are like. I know that they can handle more aggressive filtering and the more sensitive gyro and this and that. You know, in my previous videos, there was so much emphasis on the amount of time and flights and work that I put into and reached out and had all the community help from the black box people and everything like that. And over a time period of 2 to 3 months, as Betaflight 4 evolved, I was able to get my ships going to a phenomenal level. But with a quick flash of the board and 5 minutes of a configurator inside of my OSD, my quad was flying just as good, and if not better than that, with Falco X. So I mean, right now that nobody can deny Flight 1, the configurator, the Falco X, everything like that is just top notch. It's all working perfectly. It's just fantastic. There's very few people that are having issues, and the community is bonded together really great to help everybody out. If I look at the Betaflight forums, I still see people that are having lots and lots of problems, and they just, you know, I think it's just because there's just that gap. Everybody goes and buys new quads, ready to flies, all this kind of stuff, and it has Betaflight on it, and it has older versions. So things are never really progressing. There's only a certain level of people that are progressing at the top of Betaflight, and the rest of the people are just kind of here, and then you have all these like newer people like coming in. So really, the community is never going to be ready for an advanced version of Betaflight. So what do I think the future holds? Well, I think they're pretty much going to have to keep on the same course and doing what they're doing. I would like for them to mimic some of the stuff that Flight 1 is doing and perhaps release a more advanced version, and kind of get away from these default CLI copy and paste settings, which, you know, I don't really have a lot of luck with that kind of stuff. The community presets that they've put on GitHub have been a nice addition, but man, toggling through 8 different rate profiles or 8 different preset PID and filter profiles in Falco X is just great, especially when your quad can handle all the ones like for racing and for freestyle. It's just fantastic. I remember speaking with somebody in Betaflight about the amount of work that it would take for them just to make a new configurator, you know, different than just the changes that they make. And it would just be a super massive undertaking. You know, a lot more than what guys who aren't getting paid to do anything, just hobbyists like you and I, would be willing to do. And that's perfectly fine. I totally understand that. But things like the RPM filter, this and that, you know, whatever they're working on now in their nightly builds, it's great that there's people that are still willing to take it forward a few notches for veteran flyers like myself, to try to compete with Flight 1 or whoever might come along at some point. But quite honestly, at least for the rest of this year, the future of Betaflight to me just looks really grim. If I had more Flight 1 gear, I would probably have it on everything, but the stuff is just gold dust right now. They don't even have an ESC, and their flight controllers, as soon as they come in, they sell out. You know, for example, I'm building this little micro reverb here, and I have a Talon F7 that I'm putting on it. If I had a millivolt or schizo millivolt, it would definitely be on this ship. So what do you guys think the future of Betaflight's going to be? You know, let me know. Drop a line in the comments below. I think they are really hamstrung by the community, and they're the open source people and everything like that. And somebody has to play that role and play the good guy or whatever. That's fine. But, you know, a small piece of me really wants them to take it to the next level and succeed and be able to have a product that, in my opinion, competes or is as good as Falco X from Flight 1 is right now. It's going to do it for this quick little video, guys. We will talk to you later.